Good morning, fellow travelers. Travelers in the realm of spirit, and whatever that means to you, and whatever it means to me, is what it means. Because according to neurolinguistic programming, which, I studied for a very long time, 7 years of training, completed my basic training and my advanced training, passed the certificate test, and took the teacher's training, passed the test, got the certification, and basically I attended 7 years of classes, took and taught 7 years of classes, because basically it was the best deal on therapy that I could find. And having grown up with a Scottish father, it was all about the deal. He wasn't cheap. He was frugal. In other words, he was cheap in a different word. But he was frugal, and he earned his money, and he made the choice of how it was going to be spent. And took a while for me to let go of that. A long time for me to let go of earning the money and being in control of how it was spent. Really, basically, I earned the money, and then other people in my life were in control of how it was spent. And still are. And I finally was like, okay, you can change it. You can go into a whole nother relationship. You can change it if you want. And then you can be responsible for all that stuff the other person's responsible for. And if they're doing a good enough job, just let them do it. As words of wisdom. And they might be, words of total destruction. We don't know. We're just here, doing our best. Being impeccable with our words, or as impeccable as we can be. And not assuming that we know what's going on. And doing our best, which is one of them, one of the 4 agreements, at not taking it personally. Which if there are 4 agreements, and that's 8 agreements, I know, but if 4 one hand, 4 on the other, but basically 4 agreements, that's a thumb, so it's not a finger, so it's 4 fingers and a thumb. Who wants to be in the show? So we can say 4 and put up the thumb, but people say, no, that's how you count to 5. So we're just going to put the 4 up and let the thumb just kind of wave to us. Hello. Anyway, 4 agreements. And doing your best needs to be placed with, even though it's separate from, but it needs to be placed with not taking it personally. Because I've talked to a number of people about the difficulty of not taking it personally. I'm getting better. And the better you get at it, the better it gets. Just so you know, it just gets better. The less you take it personally, the better it gets. Okay, so today is my birthday. Happy birthday. I get one every 20 days, so do you. It's a whole lot better than the once a year birthday of Greg's calendar, Pope Greg. Yeah, you get one birthday a year. But in the Mayan calendar, it's your birthday every time it's the birthday of one of your kin, which is every 20 days, because it starts with 1, it goes to 20. So you got Red Dragon at 1, and you got 20, you got Yellow Sun at 20. So I'm a Red Dragon, my wife is a Yellow Sun. So yesterday was the 20th day, it was a Yellow Sunday. but it was a Monday, but I don't want to confuse you, but it was a yellow sun day, and today is a red dragon day. Yellow sun is her kin, red dragon is my kin. And so this is a red dragon day. And not only that, in Greg's calendar, it's June 18th. In Maya's calendar, it's Crystal 20. Crystal is the month. There's 13 months based on the lunar system. Crystal is the moon of cooperation, which is the 12th lunar tone is the crystal tone. And the crystal moon for the whole month, the crystal moon of cooperation, so cooperate if you want to, is about dedicating, universalizing, and cooperation. So I'm going to look again and and there's another thing that I didn't point out. So today is also where the galactic portal is open for new energies to come in. And that happens 52 times a year, which you think, well, that's 52 times a year. 52, anyway, happens frequently enough, but portal activation. Today is portal activation, and the red resonant dragon is guided by space. Okay, now we're going to go back to the beginning of the calendar. I got to order my new calendar soon from 13moon.com. I'm going to be interested. I might ask them if I check and see if they sold more calendars this year, because I've been pimping the calendar. It's really good, and you may as well have your own, or you can just listen to me read. Oh, but you get this, unless you just turn the screen off and just listen to it. I haven't tried. I've done that one time, and it was much better. I'm much more distracting to myself because all this movement kind of throws me off a little bit when I watch my own videos, so I sometimes put them aside and just listen. Okay, so the resonant tone is tone 7. I think I said that's what it is. I'm going to look again. It's a resonant tone today, tone 7, which is about channeling, inspiring, and attunement. Attunement. And then the book that I just read as my previous video is Attuned. And attunement was one of the early energy processes that I learned about healing with energy. It was called attunement. And I like to participate fully. So I ended up being the attunement coordinator for the state of Michigan for 12 years. And something like that. Yeah, 12 years. I was also the president for, I think, 2.5 years. I was the president of the Independent Condominium Association Board. And I made a lot of really good choices for the people. I don't know how many. There was a lot of units in that thing. Maybe 200 units, whatever. Somewhere 150, 200 units. Lots of buildings. I made a lot of presidential decisions that ended up benefiting the condominium thing for perpetuity. And all I did was I just I knew that we were going to have to pay for replacement of certain things like furnaces and stuff, and we didn't have enough money to replace anything. So I just doubled the monthly fee. It wasn't even appropriate to begin with. I doubled the monthly fee, which then it was like, okay, that's the fee. That's what it's going to cost us to actually take care of this place. So we ended up having the money, and all these things started happening, and we had the money, and we fixed them. And everybody went, oh, that's pretty nice. Glad I didn't have to pay for that. Yeah, well, you did pay for it. You paid for 1/200th of it. And it's much better to pay 1/200th of something than all of it. That was my feeling. Okay, so to channel, inspire, and attunement. 7 has its unique symmetry relation to 1 and 13, the alpha and the omega of the Mayan number harmonic. At the center of the pattern, 7 represents the magic by which the whole holds together. So we're holding it together. And we're going to go to number 1, the red dragon. I like also being number 1. Number 1 in the kid. There has to be a number 1, there has to be a number 13, there has to be a number 20, if there's 20. And the red dragon is related to the east, and the red dragon initiates. Its chakra's the throat, and the 3 words related to the red dragon are nurtures, birth, and being. And how many times have I read this? But every time I read it, it's like reading it for the first time. And especially after my attunement video, I suggest you watch it, even if you're I'm only into the Mayan calendar. Watch today's the book Attuned reading. And you can skip the first 13 minutes and 33 seconds where I'm just kind of like talking about my day. It's good stuff, but you can skip and go right to what Thomas wrote about and I read. But because of my experience today, this now is having a different effect on me because I'm a different person than I was when I woke up. And the words are this from the Tao Te Ching. Love the world as your own self. Then you can truly care for all things. Red dragon represents the beginning, the primal source, the mother of life, primordial waters, the birther, the initiator. Dragon is the overseer, shepherd of the vulnerable, the provider. As individual beings, and let me just tuck this under here. As individual beings, we're each a part which contains memory of the whole. As we sense all life to be of one source, we access empathy, patience, and kindness. By nurturing others, we are nurturing our own self, our oneness. Invoking grace to nourish our shared life, the love we meet life with will also love us back. Likewise, let us be reminded that as we holistically care for our own well-being, we are inherently vitalizing the whole. Let us be reminded that as we holistically care for our own well-being, we are inherently vitalizing the whole. Red Dragon provokes us to inquire, what precedes the captivating story entitled My Life? What underlies all that we do, all that we are, all that is? Being. We access this state when we simply feel the life which animates us, free of our agenda, free of all aim, free of the need to produce or achieve, with nothing to prove and nowhere to go. We are immersed into the fulfillment of pure existence, a realm of effortless essence, as ancient wisdom directs, established in being, perform action. Red Dragon assures, the universe is conspiring on our behalf. Birth new beginnings. Embrace new ways of seeing. Every moment is a new creation. When thinking stops, being takes over. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Wow. I told someone the other day, they said, what's it like feeling somewhat responsible to make 3 or 4 videos a day? And I said, well, no matter how my day starts out, by the time I've made the first video, I'm in a better place. By the time I make the second video, I'm in a better place. By the time I make the third, sometimes the fourth, I'm in a really good place. And as the word said, and I'm going to look for it, as we holistically care for our own well-being, we are inherently vitalizing the whole. So I'll tell you, these videos are a self-centered project. I've oftentimes asked the question, if you are not full of yourself, who are you full of? If you don't take care of yourself, how will you take care of others? Take care. Now must go. It's been a joy.